ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्मपुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ हरि ओम सुप्रभातम। ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 14 ॐ सर्वगः सर्वविद्भानुर्विश्वक्सेनो जनार्दनः वेदो वेदविदव्यङ्गो वेदाङ्गो वेदवित्कविः लोकाध्यक्षः सुराध्यक्षो धर्माध्यक्षः कृताकृतः चतुरात्मा चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्दंष्ट्रश्चतुर्भुजः भ्राजिष्णुर्भोजनं भोक्ता सहिष्णुर्जगदादिजः अनघो विजयो जेता विश्वयोनिः पुनर्वसुः उपेन्द्रो वामनः प्रांशुरमोघः शुचिरुर्जितः अतीन्द्रः संग्रहः सर्गो धृतात्मा नियमो यमः. We are now discussing on this 17th shloka. We have completed the first line. We will take up from the second line, first nama, Atindraha. What is Atindraha? Acharya says, Atitya Indram Sthitaha Jnana Aishwaryadibhihi Swabhava Siddhaihi iti Atindraha. We all know Indra Devata, the god or the lord of lords. Lord of gods, not lord of gods, we may say. Who is the captain, probably. The king of the Devata Loka. And Indra's abilities, merits, etc. are only because of the power supplied by the Bhagavan. Indra is able to function as the king of the gods only with the permission, blessings and the enlivening principle in him, which is nothing but Bhagavan. Jnana Aishwaryadibhihi. Jnana, the knowledge for ruling, and Aishwarya, to conduct, to run the show. Here Aishwarya we may call the monetary Aishwarya in terms of Ratna, Vairya, Vaidurya, etc. But the main Aishwarya is all the virtues. It is a virtues which has given him that particular sthana. And Bhagavan is Indram Atitya Sthitaha. He is above Indra. In the hierarchy, in any particular administration or organization, you have various levels in the hierarchy. You have the chairman, then you have the managing director, then you have the general manager, and then you have the various departmental heads, like that. So, Bhagavan is the highest. And with reference to the Devata Loka, Indra becomes next. Therefore, Swabhava Siddhaihi. What is Swabhava Siddhaihi? That is the very natural state of Bhagavan, which is the highest. Swabhava Siddhaihi iti Atindraha. He is above Indra. Then comes Sangraha. The next nama indicates again the capacity of Bhagavan. Sarvesham prati samharat sangraha. Samharat here should be taken as withdrawal. Normally samhara is to kill, but here it is prati samhara. Prati samhara here refers to withdrawal of the whole creation created by Bhagavan as Brahma. As the creator Brahma, Bhagavan himself withdraws the whole creation at the time of Pralaya. Probably because it is Pralaya Kala, Samharat is given. Otherwise it is what? It is withdrawal of the whole creation which has been created at the time of creation. Now it is withdrawal. And Bhagavan alone has that capacity, therefore he is called as Sangraha. And in this Pralaya, every Jivarashi is withdrawn, the whole creation is withdrawn. Please remember, even though the creation is withdrawn, the Jivarashis, that subtle remains. Till the next creation, it is folded up. And then again it opens up. When does the Jiva Rashi come to an end? Only in Jnanam. That is why it is a Jnana Devata Kaivalyam. Until Brahma Jnana takes place, the Jiva has to come and go. There is no end. Therefore, Pralaya is again withdrawal of the creation only to recreate after some time. That time, he decides. Alright, Pralaya. So he is called Sangraha. Sargaha. Sarga means again creation. Srijya Rupataya Sarga Hetutvatva Sargaha. Srijya Rupataya, in the form of creation, meaning what? All the creation is also Bhagavan only. Sarga Hetutvat. Hetu means cause, reason. He is the cause for creation and he is the creation also. Therefore, the creation and the cause of creation is Bhagavan and he is called as Sargaha. Dhritatma. This is a very interesting nama. Eka Rupena Janmadi Rahitataya. Now please note, Janma Adi here means that cycle of birth and death. Janana Jivana Marana Ityadi. Srishti Sthiti Laya Ityadi does not apply to Bhagavan. Srishti Sthiti Laya Janana Marana Jivana is all only for the embodied soul. Is only for the Jiva, not for Bhagavan. Because Eka Rupena Atma Dhritaha. Here Atma is Bhagavan. One. Atma has got two meanings. One Jivatma and then Paramatma. If you take Atma as Jivatma, then it has got Janana, Marana, etc. And that Rahitaha, he is devoid of all this change. He is devoid of all this Shadvikara. And therefore, he is called Dhrita Atma, the Atma who remains the same ever, who is the supreme ever. In fact, to say who is the supreme ever is also a figurative experience for you and me to understand. Otherwise, he is beyond time. That is what the meaning is. He has created time and he withdraws the time also. But he remains beyond time. Therefore, the one who remains all the time in his Swaswarupa is called Dhritatma. Then comes a very important, very oft quoted, generally well known Nama Niyamaha. Now from this time, I had not done till now, from this time I have also given this number here, for example 865. This Nama repeats again as the 865th Nama. We will try to see how wherever the same Nama comes, we will make a mention for just for reference, just to get to know that where all it again repeats. Niyamaha. What is Niyamaha? Sveshu adhikareshu prajaha niyamayati iti niyamaha. Niyamayati means the one who administers prajaha, where in sveshu adhikareshu he appoints them at their at their position. He is the one who appoints. Now here there can be two meanings. One is prajaha, when it is said everybody included, but we may also have a second meaning. One more Acharya takes that. He says prajaha here refers to the Devata Loka, who are given the portfolio of administration of a particular aspect in creation. And it is Bhagavan who appoints them to take care of these particular activities. Therefore, Niyamayati. Niyamayati, the one who administers. One, appoints, and two, having appointed, he administers through them the whole creation. Therefore, he is also called Niyamaha. This is one meaning of Niyama. Another meaning we all know. There are this Niyama. Here, Niyama means 5 aspects of, what do you call it as, control. This we have seen everywhere. Shaucham, Santoshaha, Tapaha, Swadhyayaha, and Ishvara Pranidhana. These are 5 Antarniyamaha. It is very much taken in the Yoga Sutras, etc. We have this Niyama. Now, this Niyama refers to not Bhagavan. These refer to all of us. We need to have all of them to gain the knowledge of the Supreme. Remember, we can gain the knowledge of the Supreme only when we have pure mind, quiet mind, settled mind. In fact, one step ahead, amanaha, beyond mind. But this beyond mind, beyond intellect, beyond time, beyond space, these are all words generally used, and then we think, oh, something beyond, somewhere high above, etc. Because our mind, cannot comprehend so easily. Mind is able to comprehend, mind is able to perceive only that which is pratyaksha. Or mind is able to perceive or conceive or comprehend that which it has learnt earlier. So such a mind cannot comprehend the Supreme. For the mind to comprehend the Supreme, first of all, it has to go beyond mind. We have to go beyond mind. To go beyond mind is gaining adhikara for jnanam. Jnana siddhi. For jnana siddhi, adhikara is required. Yogyata is required. Jnana yogyata siddhyartham niyamaha. Jnana yogyata siddhyartham shaucham. Jnana. Oh. There is the English version is wrong. This is a very interesting thing. In Yamaha, ahimsa, non-injury, etc. comes. This copy-paste error, we may say. I will explain. I will give you the chart again later. Shaucham is purity. Santoshaha is contentment. Tapas is austerity. Swadhyaya is self-study. And Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender unto him. That is given here. Alright, I will change the chart and present it again tomorrow at the beginning itself. What is Shaucham? We said purity. What is purity? Yesterday or day before yesterday we said purity is H2O in water is pure water. Anything added to it is impurity. Similarly here, the Sharira, Manaha, Buddhihi must have Shuddhatvam. What is Shuddhatvam? With reference to Sharira, keeping the body clean, keeping the body fit is very, very important. Where there is impurity, Bhagavan would not like to come. Bhagavan would not want to be there. Therefore, Shaucham, that even the Vatavarana must be clean. Surroundings. Body must be clean. Why body must be clean? Otherwise, a dirty body all the time will develop lot of diseases. And when the body develops diseases, with this body, we will not be able to concentrate on the Supreme. Therefore, Shaucham, purity is very important. Then, Santoshaha. What is Santoshaha? Santoshaha is contentment. A sense of completeness. A sense of completeness meaning what? Where I do not feel incomplete. Now see, if I want something, then the mind is agitated until I achieve that. And then I have to protect that also. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Bhagavan says, I will take care only when you surrender unto me. Ananyaha chintayantaha. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. For that, first of all, my mind should come out of craving for more and more. The mind should become content with whatever is available. And that alone can give me santosha. Otherwise, there will be agitation. So, contentment is indicated in santosha. Tapas. What is tapas? Austerity to discipline the mind. Austerity is not something called exercises or giving pain to the body. There are some people take tapas as very, very what is it? Hatha yoga, etc. Go and stand in the sun in one leg. That is one kind of tapas. Should not be condemned. That is also one kind of tapas, no doubt. But tapas mainly is integrity of the personality and austerities. What are austerities? Austerities means self-restraint. Self-denial is another thing. Self-denial is forceful denial of something which is required when it is very strong, when the vasanas are very strong, when the desires are very strong, when one gets angry. When such harsh qualities are there, some harsh treatment is required. For that, Hatha Yoga is required. For that, giving some strong discipline to the body is required. Otherwise, it is self-restraint. What is a self-restraint? It is non-indulgence in those so-called desirable activities. Not out of force, but out of proper understanding. Like for example, simple example we can take up. Getting up early morning at 4 o'clock. Very many times it is not possible, or most of the times it may not be possible unless you are used to it for a long period of time. We tend to extend our bedtime. I would not call sleep time. Because once you have woken up, this 5 minutes, the children would say, or even elders, why always say children? Elders also, 5 minutes I thought I will just relax for 5 minutes when the alarm goes. And say, okay, after 5 minutes I will get up. It is a decision, after 5 minutes I will get up. But sometimes you sleep off for 1 hour. Is it not? But then to get up at 4 o'clock and when the alarm rings, just throw the cover and then just get out of the bed. Once just get out of the bed, then you will not feel like going back. Exception sustained. You will not feel like going back. To get up at 4 o'clock as a discipline and not falling prey for that 5 minutes extension. It is tapas. We may want to eat this, that and everything. Indisciplined eating habits are generally seen. But to have a certain discipline in our eating habits is austerity. At the initial level, it will be at a very simple way. At the later level, you can extend it to a little more disciplined way, little more stronger disciplines. And it requires integrity of the body, mind and intellect. Think. When the desire to eat comes up, the intellect must be stronger than the mind. If the mind is stronger than the intellect, mind will want to enjoy that pleasure and it will fall prey. When the mind obeys the intellect will say, this is not good for you now. Why don't you postpone? This is another beautiful technique people administer, prescribe. What is that? Postpone. You say, okay, after 6 days I will have. And after 6 days you would have forgotten. That is a quality of the mind. Therefore, initial stage, postpone. And then teach the mind, educate the mind to say, this is not required. Some purva vasana it must have come, but out of our own discipline, we can remove that vasana and we can re-educate the mind and get out of it. Get out, grow out of it. This ability to hold on and not succumb to that pressure of pleasures is austerity. And for that to happen, mind requires a different, activity to change the mind from those habitual thinking. Like the child, when the child takes your wristwatch, if you pluck the wristwatch from the child will become restless. So what do? You give a chocolate to the child and intelligently remove that wristwatch. Similarly, when the mind is desperate to some pleasure, give the mind something noble, something good, something different. Engage the mind in a proper other way and you will find slowly mind will come out. This is mind. After all, it is mind. Since after all it is mind, it is possible to educate and alter those quality of thinking, those texture of thoughts. It is possible. But what do? I consciously discipline that mind. This conscious disciplining of the mind is called tapas. And that is extended again further to even in our intellectual analysis. I give more time for analysis. I reduce my wastage of time. All these are tapas only. Basically what? Disciplining the mind. Alright. Tapas. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is what? Manana. Shravana and manana together can be called as swadhyaya. What is Shravana? Listening to or gaining inputs from. It can be a teacher. It can be a teacher through probably in today's world. Now it is gadgets. Books are available. Like that we have varied sources. Only people who are not keen will give excuses or justification. Excuses and justification are exhibition of irresponsibility. Think. For a person who really wants to study, there are plenty of ways. In fact, in today's world with all the electronic gadgets and things like that, umpteen opportunities are available. You open the internet and YouTube, what text you want, who you want to speak on the text, everything is available. I don't have time, Swamiji. 24 hours. Think. Where there is a will, there is a way. That will is the problem. That has to come. When that will comes, I have to study. Then one will definitely find one can steal time from all other activities and keep the other activities to its minimal and give time for study. Swadhyaya is very important. However, one must not, take it lightly, because mind is so very fickle. Because the mind is so very fickle, we require some external support also. Without an external support, the mind cannot be put into track. Therefore, Ishvara Pranidhana. I surrender at the feet of Bhagavan and seek Bhagavan's support, seek Bhagavan's blessings, seek Bhagavan's help. Anyatha sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama. For what? Bhagavan, I want to study. I want to learn. I want to go within. Therefore, my mind is not allowing me. Please help me. Think. Bhaktim prayachha ragupungava nirbharami kamadi dosharahitam kurumana sancha. We have seen this shloka of Tulsi Ramayana, Sundarakanda, second shloka in the Dhyana shlokas, where Tulsidas ji says, Bhaktim prayacha, please give me bhakti, please give me devotion. Oh, is it that is it available anywhere? Bhakti, is it available? How is it available? In meter or liter or kgs, how much it is available? Please send me 2 kgs of bhakti or 2 liters of bhakti. No. Bhakti is one, I surrender and please note, communicate my helplessness to Bhagavan. And helplessness of what? Helplessness of controlling my own mind, which I myself have made it uncontrollable. Not the world. World has not made it uncontrollable. Bhagavan has not created my mind uncontrollable. I have given the mind all possible encouragement to go out of me. And then keep on begging, please come back, karke. Think. Therefore, I seek Bhagavan's help. And how will Bhagavan bless? When my seeking is sincere, then that sincerity in me will find time to think of Bhagavan. It's a very beautiful, interesting cycle. It is not vicious cycle, it's a very interesting cycle. When it is negative, it is vicious cycle. When it is positive, it is a cycle with a vision. And that will start only when I surrender at the feet of Bhagavan. Initial stages, I take to chanting loudly. Uttamastavat uchchamandatah. Think. I start with this one. Chant Vishnu Sahasranama loudly daily morning. Don't worry about others. Anyway, they keep complaining. So let them continue complaining. You chant. Chant Rudram. Chant Lalita Sahasranama. Or if it is too long, if you feel it is too long, so many small little stotrams are there. So beautiful stotrams are there. Think. Atma tvam girijamati sahacharaha prana shariram griham pujate vishayopabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi sancharah padayoh pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarvagiro yadyat karma karomi tadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Whatever I do, Bhagavan is your aradhana. If I am sleeping, it is meditation, horizontal meditation. Think. Everything is possible, but I must have the will to make it possible. With making my will stronger when I surrender, Bhagavan says, Tathastu. From there we can start. We can take that thread and then move on, march forward. This ability to hold on to our inner being, Now all of them, Shaucham, Santoshaha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana, all these niyamas are what? Niyamas to control. Control meaning what? Positively integrate my inner personality is niyama. And then comes Yamaha. What is Yamaha? Antaryachati iti. Antaryachati here meaning what? I control all my organs, sense organs, and direct it inwards. Now where are my organs? All my sense organs are scattered all over the world. Is it not? Eyes are seeing outside. Ears wants to listen from outside. Tongue wants to taste everything or keep on talking. Think. Feeling. All these are to enjoy and indulge in the external world. So what do I do to control them? In fact, controlling meaning what? Again, mastering my senses. I have to decide what they have to do. I am the boss. They are not my boss. They are my servant. Why they are my servant? Very interesting. None of them can function without me. But I can function without them. Think. Eyes cannot see without my permission. Ears cannot hear without my permission. If I decide to withdraw, even if my eyes are open, I cannot see. Classroom. Teacher is going on teaching. And sometimes with a mic also. But we are somewhere. When we are somewhere, even though eyes are watching him, he cannot see him. Even though ears are generally open, you can't hear him. Why? I decided not to see. I decided not to hear. What did I decide? I decided to take a trip, free trip. Think. Therefore, I must have the control. I must be the boss. And how do I do that? What are they? Ahimsa. Ahimsa, non-injury. Very easily understandable. Right? Immediately foolish people will talk. What to do with mosquitoes? What to do with cockroaches? All those are stupid questions. Please don't ask such questions again. Alright. Himsa meaning because of which I give pain to others. This is himsa. Himsa can be physical. Himsa can be emotional. Himsa can be intellectual also. Himsa, physical himsa is beating and killing and all that stuff. Everything need not be explained because you are also intelligent, you will understand all that. Isn't it? That is physical himsa. But what we generally fail to understand is the himsa to the mind. The himsa at the intellectual level. What is himsa at the intellectual level? Not giving the right education and making the intellect confused is himsa to the intellect. And mind, you know, that which brings agitation to the mind is himsa. Therefore, ahimsa is give the right education to the mind and intellect and not give suffering to others, physically, emotionally and intellectually. Satyam, truthfulness. Truthfulness is generally being truthful is all one part of it. But what is truthfulness is being and responding as we are and not as we are not. Very important point. Today you will find every one of us have got so many masks. We want to project to the world what we are not. For what? Some prestige, some image, some position, some favor, some benefits. Think, some name and fame. We are trying to project what we are not. That is sufficient. How falsely we are living a life. Think. Now what is required? In the name of Satyam, what we have to understand is, I remain and I behave, I conduct myself as what I am, and try to remove all the masks which I am wearing. What are the masks? That which I am not. Think. When I thus project myself as I am and remove as I am not, it will take lives, please note. It is not that tomorrow morning onwards I will keep all the masks, I will burn the masks. It is not that kind of a mask. That could have been done if it was a physical mask. These are all sentimental masks. It requires time. It requires courage. It requires courage to present ourselves what we are, and it requires courage not to present what we are not. It requires Dridha Nishchaya to be what we are and not present what we are not. That is Satyam. From the Laukika standpoint, that is Satyam. From the Paramarthika standpoint, I have to remain with my true nature, which is Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma, and reject what I am not. Asatyam, Mithya is this body, mind and intellect. I have to take myself, draw myself into the inner being and understand that these are not. When I say reject these are not, it is not that I go and jump and fall into some place and die. That is not what is meant. I reject the identification with the body, mind and intellect and use them as gadgets until this is alive. Use them appropriately. Optimum usage of these, again for what? To go within. Again for what? To understand Bhagavan. Again for what? To understand the Jiva Brahma Aikyatvam. Therefore, I use this body and remain in the thought of my inner nature. Remove the masks what I have. Think. And that is not so easy, please note. That is not at all easy. To remove the mask. Somebody said, I think Gurudev or Swami Tejamanji said, if we keep on wearing the masks, our masks will hit us in the head at some time, it seems. It will go around and come back and then it will hit our own head. Think. Not wearing a mask is very difficult, but reducing the number of masks is our sadhana, is our discipline towards the ultimate truth. Asteyam, non-stealing. Non-stealing, not owning which is not mine. Not taking away which is not mine. Is non-stealing. Now what is mine? Nothing is mine. That is the best part. Nothing is mine. Therefore, don't ever have ownership of anything. We may at best be a trustee of things, and that which is given to me for usage, I take it with a trusteeship, not ownership. 1. 2. Not take away that which is not mine. So, asteyam. The next one is brahmacharya. What is brahmacharya? Integrity of the body, mind and intellect complex. This integrity is nothing but having a complete mastery over them and channelizing them towards the purpose purpose of our human life is brahmacharya. All can be used appropriately, directed towards the main path. This ability to withdraw the physical body, emotional mind and rational intellect, collect them from wherever it has been scattered, bringing them together and channelizing towards knowing the higher truth is brahmacharyam, that is studentship. Then comes aparigraha. What aparigraha? Not hoarding, not taking things, not grabbing, possessing, indulging, enjoying. All these are aparigraha. Then what do I do that? Give it away. The best way to practice aparigraha is dana. Give it away. Why? I cannot take anything when I go. So why do I have it? Use whatever is required, and the rest, tyage naike amritattvamanashuhu. Only through tyaga amritatva can be gained. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.